Steady Sixes Monster Mash!
The Collector. So the film was directed by Mark Dunstan. He was also the writer and the screenplay guy for Saw 4, 5, 6, and also Saw 3D, amongst a couple of other films. The movie's basically about this jewel thief that cases this one house in particular and pretty much plans to rob the people blind. Until he goes into the house and he discovers that he's not the only one inside the house. And the reason that he is trying to rob these people is because his wife got into some shit with some loan sharks and basically owes him a lot of money. You can tell that the director was the guy that did a couple of the Saw films, like right off the bat. It's got the same tone as Saw. It's got all the traps and torture devices and all this shit going on in there. Pretty intense stuff. It's also very much so filmed in the same way. Like, the camera work is a lot like the Saw movies. You know, it's like zooming into a gear and then it's zooming into the floorboards and all this shit. Like, it's got a lot of those like Saw-esque kinds of zooms, I guess. Main character, the protagonist in the film, is not your standard run-of-the-mill thriller movie protagonist where they're running and tripping over everything. This guy's actually got a brain. You know, he's actually smart. It's like whenever he sees this wire trap in this one part, it's not like he's like an idiot like in most horror movies, you know, where they'd pull on it to see what happens. You know, he actually avoids it by going underneath it to get around it without setting the trap off. So the guy's actually got a brain, which I really liked. Okay, so let's actually talk about the killer, or the murderer, torturer guy, the Collector. He was really creepy, you know, he almost had like a Michael Myers head tilt to him, and there was almost kind of like a childlike quality to the guy. There was this one part where he sees a spider in the basement or whatever, and he's like so fascinated by the spider, and he lets the spider go out the window. Very creepy. He had really like the eyes, the way the mask looked. It was just all around really creepy. The main character, the protagonist basically of the film, Arkin, he stumbles into this room and there's this like really sticky acid shit on the floor, and there's like a cat that's already stuck in it. He literally like grabs the cat and tries to pull it out of the sticky poisonous acid goo or whatever. The cat's like flesh and fur rip off. It's really gross. And then the cat like jumps up on top of a windowsill or something and triggers some kind of a trap, and a guillotine comes down and literally chops the cat's head off. It was fucking insane. There's also a really cool kill where this guy falls into a room and he literally falls on top of a bunch of bear traps. One of the bear traps even closes on his fucking face. Holy shit. One of the chick characters named Jill gets captured by the Collector. She's literally tied up with barbed wire to the staircase. Arkin sets her free, and she runs off and tries to arm herself. She picks up a pair of scissors that are like attached to a tripwire or something, and she pulls the tripwire, and she literally gets catapulted into like a projector screen, and there's nails behind the projector screen, so she literally gets like impaled on a bunch of nails, like slingshotted into a bunch of nails. It was gnarly. Arkin escapes the house, and he realizes that the daughter of the family that lived there is in one of the upstairs bedrooms looking out the window, you know, and he's like, oh shit, you know, I gotta go back, I gotta save the little girl, I can't just leave her there. Arkin ends up surviving and getting away from the killer. He saves the little girl, Everything's fine. He's in an ambulance on his way to the hospital, and then all of a sudden the ambulance gets into a car wreck, like it crashes and flips over. The killer basically like crashed their car so he can get Arkin. One of the paramedics is in there, still alive. The killer throws like a knife through the dude's head and kills him, and then he cuts Arkin down, stuffs Arkin into a chest, and then drives off with him into the night. Just whenever you thought everything was good and he escaped, he just got captured by the killer again. He didn't make it after all. The collector literally collected him. It had a great twist. I really liked it. So yeah, folks, I definitely recommend you check it out. If you're into Saw movies and you like the gore and all the carnage, then this is definitely the movie for you to see. The practical effects, it actually had really good practical effects in it, you know. All around, really good film. Honestly, I really didn't think I was going to like it at first, but it really did surprise me. So, I also want to shout out to my cousin Allie for recommending that I watch this film. You were right, cuz. I definitely liked it. If you got any more suggestions for films that I should watch, like newer horror, thriller films I should watch, definitely let me know. Once again, Scott86, The Collector, 2009. You guys check it out. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Monster Mash.